Hello, good morning. Yes, good morning, my wonderful people. Happy to have you guys here. As usual, welcome to the program. Like we always say, you are a stakeholder in what we're doing. Hopefully, your week went well. We are almost at the end. You just have to remain, steadfast in what we're doing. There's a strategy on the table. There is a way out of this mess. A way out. We are not scratching our head. We are not fasting and praying. We are not babbling through the night. We got this. There's a strategy on the table for us to get where we're going. So, welcome to the program. My name is Mona Chimzaga, also known as Ali Bobo Alonso. I know a lot of you may not believe it because of the destructions that was done by colonial terrorists and their cronies. But we are getting there. Soon you will know. Now you know. So you will know. So welcome to the program. Please continue to help us to share, like, and subscribe.
Thank you so much, my sister. And my name is Ekwi. And remember, we're here to liberate our minds and our peoples from colonialism, institutionalized spirituality, and everything that limits humanity, making them perform below the original expectation of the divine order. So please, our people, draw near. Let's begin. Let's talk. Let's learn from one another. Remember, you can drop your comments. You can drop even after the show. You can send us comments. We'll also read it out during our show. And then, if you want to call as well, the WhatsApp number will be going around as we speak. And then the number is +234 7089 605819. I'll take it again. +234 7089 605819. We want you to be part of the conversation because we have to do this job. So it's a WhatsApp number. And then if you read your comments also, during the week, some people called us Onyekachuchi George, Onwukwenwanze, Prince Ogale. Those I've called before. Some missed us. Please, you can call back and then let's share as we wait for others to join. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you.
Please remember to like us you join, especially those on YouTube. Subscribe as you can, please.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Continue to help us to share throughout the show. Um, Welcome again to our program today. We are absolutely happy to have you here. I bet you have seen the topic for the day. Um, why is so important in what we're doing today? So our topic is deconstruct Nigeria's colonial system to reconstruct a working system. Deconstruct Nigeria's colonial system to reconstruct a working system. Nigeria is not a naturally evolved nation, but rather is a colonial contraption created by the British in 1914. And this is through the amalgamation of distant and historical sovereign peoples. They created this artificial union without the consent of our people, which laid the groundwork for structurally imbalanced and conflict-prone entity. Since independence, Nigeria's colonial system has not been dismantled but sustained by post-colonial elites who inherited and preserved its extraction, repressiveness, and centralized structure. In recent decades, however, this colonial system has not been overtaken and manipulated by the Fulani, or has been taken and manipulated by the Fulani led agenda to establish dominance over the rest of our people through violent conquest, through land grabbing, demographic displacement, and control of the state institution. In response to this existential threat, NINAS, the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination, emerged as the only viable and comprehensive strategy to deconstruct this colonial system and reconstruct a working system for the indigenous peoples of Nigeria. The Fulani conquest is not just a regional or tribal issue, like some people may think. Rather, it is a systematic effort to replicate colonial domination, this time around from within. They are using religion, migration, federal power, and security agencies as an instrument of conquest. As we are watching, there's the seizure of indigenous lands through open grazing, two cattle colonies, and Ruga. They are weaponizing migration and demographic manipulation through repopulation region with foreign Fulanis. They have captured the security forces, the judicial system, and the federal resources to protect and expand Fulani's interests. There's also systemic violence in the name of terrorism, banditry, and state-backed herders militia. So as you can see, this is the continuation of colonialism. Though not currently by British, we know they are in the background, by those masquerading as federalists, the Fulanis, the owners, the true owners of the land, as we can see. So the Nigerian 1999 Constitution, fraudulently imposed on our people without their consent, is the legal backbone of this colonial system. And someone will say, why would I say that? Because it centralizes control over natural resources, land, and policies. It disenfranchises the indigenous nations. It institutionalizes the Fulani-led elite capture of the federation. It also criminalizes the right to self-determination and regional autonomy. Therefore, any meaningful reconstruction of Nigeria must begin with deconstruction of that imposed illegitimate constitutional order. So another person may ask, why is NINA's strategy the only viable pathway? NINAs provide a non-violent, structured, and internationally recognized pathway for deconstructing this colonial system. Here is how it will work directly to counter this Fulani conquest. Number one, you repudiated the 1999 Constitution by launching a formal constitutional force majeure in December of 2020, which declared the indigenous peoples of South and Middle Belt as those that reject the 1999 Constitution. With this strategic move, this delegitimizes the central command structure, which enables Fulani's conquest or dominance. It withdraws the basis for the union, thus returning sovereignty to our indigenous nations. And it sends a clear international signal that our people are no longer consenting to colonial governance. Number two, the regional self-determination blocks. NINAS has grouped the peoples of Nigeria into four self-determination blocks: the Lower Niger, the Yoruba block, the Middle Belt, and the Arawa block. The block structure reflects historical realities and ethnic sovereignty, enabling indigenous nations to reclaim control of their future, which is a direct antidote for Fulani's conquest. Number three, it transitioned into constitutional reconfiguration. Wow, that's a mouthful. So rather than a violence breakup, Nina's calls for an orderly transition through suspension of 1999 constitution, through regional referendums to determine the political desires of each bloc, through negotiation of new constitutional arrangements or independent exits. This provides a peaceful alternative to bloodshed while still affirming indigenous sovereignty. Number four, they did what we call international imperative. They engaged the international associates and diplomats by invoking the United Nations instruments on self-determination and decolonization. They also invoked the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. Why? This is essential in gaining international recognition and protection for indigenous nations under the siege from Fulani's conquest. And then number five, delegitimization of federal elections under the 1999 Constitution. Ninas called to halt no further election under this fraudulent 1999 Constitution, which removes the illusion of democracy and pressure that we can see is not leading us anywhere. We can see that under this federation, the Fulani conquest thrives under the 1999 system. Elections, like we said, give them the continued legitimacy to continue their conquest. So with the colonial structures deconstructed by Nina's pathway, that means that we are reclaiming our indigenous sovereignty. We are seeking for true federalism or dissolution. We are also seeking for resource control and economic decentralization. And last, peace through justice, which will end systemic marginalization and land dispossession that will end the cycle of violence. So this is not just a mere reform. It is a foundational reconstruction. So my people, as we pull up the video of the day, I'm going to have my sister add for you to swallow all the things that I have come up with during this introduction to understand that we have a viable strategy to exit the colonial conquest / Fulani conquest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Very detailed, because here in this community, this is community of truth and community of common sense. We put things together because we know things do not happen in isolation. So we gather the things, bring them together for our people to examine, and then we have conversation, meaningful conversation. Mind you, not beer parlor conversation, not conversation that people will just pull up ideas from their dream and then begin to put things forward. If you listen to that introduction, you see it's well detailed, well articulated. This is what happened, this is what we did, and this is what we're doing, and this is what it will lead to. So this first video, this is Asa El Buba. These are some of the religious leaders that we've been speaking to.
Listening to.
Yes, we've been speaking to, because they are the ones teaching our people. They're the ones that colonize our people. Of course, we know that Christianity is one of the tools of colonization, and Christianity, Islam, all this institutionalized religion, they used it to brainwash. We go and look for the history, because here we talk about facts, no sentiment. So if we want to speak, you go and look for history, study it, and then come back. We'll have a meaningful conversation. So they look for a way to colonize the minds of the people so that it will be easier for them to control them and control their resources. So they decided to institutionalize their spirituality. So these are some of the leaders of our people that kept our people in these different camps, these religious colonized camps, where they brainwash them further and make them very ignorant and very afraid and unable to take action like our ancestors did. So Buba, these are people that Nina's team, they've met them, broke down everything to them to tell them this is what is going on. And this is why this is the solution. They ignored it. Continue to push fallacy and push things that do not make sense to our people. And why this is so painful is that it is bloodshed. Our people are being killed every day. Go to Middle Belt, Northeast, Northwest, some communities. Nobody is this there. I saw a horrible video that somebody sent to me today. They picked up to 30 something skeletons, people with like human beings. Some of them, their belts, it's what you can use to identify them. Of course, we have them, we can do DNA later on, but that's much later. You see our people, not outside, not in the desert, not the ones dying in the Mediterranean Sea, inside Nigeria. And we have spoken to these leaders, community leaders, religious leaders, political leaders. This is the solution to stop this. They refuse because of the money and the things that are benefiting from the status quo. They don't want to change a system because it benefits them. So now he's coming out to say that Fulani is responsible for ethno-religious killings across Nigeria. He said this August 21st at Jos this year, 2025. It's after they have destroyed our people. He's now coming out to say, yes, it's Fulani that is killing people. And then, after that, what do you do next? So you listen, because evidence is there. We're not here, this is not propaganda. We're not here to, we don't deal with falsehood and propaganda. We deal with facts. We research and get facts and put them on the table so that people that can use their common sense will understand why the solution is this. Sorry, go ahead, my sister.
Fulani Oshun, Fulani Ekiti, Fulani Sokoto, Fulani Kasina, Fulani Kaduna, Fulani Plateau, Fulani Benue, Fulani Taraba. Are you the only tribes in Nigeria? You are not the only tribe. There is nothing like profiling of a people. I'm a Fulani man. I'm a grandfather of 8 grandchildren. And we just have to speak the truth. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. As long as we continue to glouse over the truth, we will never get the answer. And I want to say this to our security men: until justice is done, there will never be a solution. If you get a Fulani man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer. If you get a bureau man that is a killer, deal with him as a killer, and this will come to an end. But you don't give certain people advantage over other tribes. I respect the people that have hosted me, even though I am an indigene of Plateau State, because I was born here. My children are grown up. I have 8 grandchildren. But yet we respect the people we met on ground. In Maiduguri, my hometown, the people that come to meet us respect us. When the Boko Haram thing started in Maiduguri, it was us, the indigenes, the people, the Kanuris, who came together and said, this thing is among us. And then we started getting on, and then we raised the civilian JTF. That was how Boko Haram was dealt with. Kanuri man will bring his own children and said, Gashina ena chikin Boko Haram. And that was how we dealt with it. Mayati Allah Association, 80% of the responsibility of the genocide is on you. You have the 80% answer. Because if today Mayati Allah says this genocide will stop, it's not herders and farmers clashes. Intentional genocide, terrorism, and that must stop. It must stop. I'm not happy to move as a Fulani man and my tribe is being profiled. My children, when they travel out and Fulani, here Fulani, there Fulani, I am a proud Fulani man. I am a proud Kanuri man. It's just like when Boko Haram started. We're not proud of it. Why should it be from Borno State? But then we decided to fight it. I am here to say, Nigeria, we are not honest to ourselves.
A prideful man indeed.
My dear, it's so painful. Like it really breaks my heart. Like when you hear some things, you just get so emotional, especially when you know we're talking about human lives here. And people decide to play politics with the lives of people. To start with, Fulani is not even an indigenous ethnic nation within Nigeria. Fulani has no land, no ancestral land in Nigeria. That is why they go about killing people, sacking them from their communities, and taking their lands. That's why they're the only ones doing it. Yoruba people do not need to go and kill people and take their land because they have their own ancestral land. The same thing with Tiv, Idoma, Ijo, Igbo. All these people are indigenous. Hausa, Kanuri, they are indigenous ethnic nation. They're not tribe. They're ethnic nation within that geographical space called Nigeria. So they have no reason whatsoever to sack any community. The only people that have reason to sack communities are the invaders, the Fulani people. And this man is here telling us he's proud Fulani man.
And he's in charge of your church.
And he's in charge of your church. Have people seen how we linked colonialism to your church, your religion? Go and do the history. There's no way they would have succeeded in colonizing our people the way they did if they didn't colonize their minds first. It brought a lot of confusion. Why are people thought they were worshiping God? The colonial monsters were not after God or anything. They came for business. They came to steal our resources and our lands. But they had to do something to our minds first. My people, we thank you because you're waking up. Please, wake up others. This is a task that has to be done. Nobody is doing it for us. We told you on this platform severally. No God is coming to do it for you. No entity, nobody loves you enough to come and deliver you. You will deliver yourself. Your politicians cannot even deliver you. Your religious leaders cannot deliver you. Your compromised community leaders cannot deliver you. But before you embark on that journey, we want you to be well informed so that you don't join criminal gangsters. You don't join some people that we know that all they're doing is kidnap our people and kill our people in the name of freedom fighting. We don't want you to do that. That's why we want you to be well informed. And we come here every Saturday. We have a lot of videos, over thousands of videos. Please go watch them. We broke down the work that Ninas has done so that every common man will understand it. The next video we're playing, Nigerians, of course, like we told you, that people are waking up. Everybody's no more sleeping. Even some people are still sleeping. Those sleeping are those benefiting from the evil structure. But our people are waking up. Nigerians are rejecting loudly, they are denouncing the Nigeria that is as currently constituted. When you hear Japa syndrome, as people are running out of that space, what they are saying, they are rejecting that that nation, that country, not nation, that country. That's what they're doing. They're rejecting Nigeria. They chose death over staying in Nigeria. No matter how you're calling them and doing all the, oh, yes, come and build, Akuruno, and all those lies people are spreading. The people are running away because it's only a tree that will hear the alarm about death and stay there until they are cut down. So the people are running. So the people who are playing now their video, they are not just doing running. They have succeeded in picking up a second citizenship, another passport, and then they are tearing that of Nigeria. They are rejecting Nigeria as currently constituted. There are no more citizens. They were not even citizens. There are no more whatever it is, because that document is actually, that passport, that green passport does not confer citizenship on you. Only what it gives you is document to travel with. It's only a travel document, because some people that have passports that confer citizenship on them, they know the life they live. If anything happens to them anywhere in the world, they will come and pick them and take care of them. We saw how Ifunanya's father was rescued from her own land by a country that conferred citizenship on him as a human being. So Nigeria does not confer citizenship on you. Your green passport is just a document to travel with. You have enough evidence to prove that. You can deceive yourself if you want, but it is what it is. So let's watch this. Thank you.
Nigeria is a failed state. Nigeria is a failed nation. Nigeria is a failed state.
There's no hope for the common man again. There is no hope. There is no hope. There is no hope. We are finished.
I deny to be a Nigerian. Nigeria has failed its own people. The law also has failed.
This is demonstration. This is act of protest. As you people continue to lie to yourselves, your politicians deceive you, why they move their own children outside that space to other countries where people have built. Keep them safely. Both your religious leaders, politicians, all of them, they have safely transported their children and family members out of that collapsing place. But they lied to you. Economic reform, 2027 election, all this and that. So this is a form of protest. These people are protesting. They are speaking truths to themselves and to the world. Thank God for social media. Those that continue to lie, the TVC ladies, you continue to lie to the people. Truth is naked and running everywhere, and people are seeing it. And some people are forming opposition. And we're asking them, your opposition coalition, what are you offering different from what Tinubu and APC are already dishing out to us and to our people? You see why we told you people that the politicians are the same, all of them, whether APC, PDP, Labour Party, B2B, whatever you call them, they're together. And do you know why they're the same? Because they swear to uphold the colonial unitary 1999 constitution. That constitution that has jacked the lands, assets, and resources of ethnic nations. That constitution that is continuing to colonize our people. They swear to uphold and govern by it rather than decolonize the space. They have continued to empower colonial structures and colonial systems over their own people, and they're not about to give up. You know why they're not giving up? Because they're benefiting from it. They're benefiting from it. My sister is going to pull up another video for us. Is it playing? If it's not, try and see if I can play it from here.
Yeah, try to play it from there. I'll have the picture up.
Okay. So while we speak, there are people that know the truth and they're speaking out the truth. Some people are lying to themselves. Well, you can continue to lie if you want. Truth will prevail. That's one thing we know. So this is Dele Farah to me. He granted an interview recently, and we'll listen to what he has said. We'll listen to what he is saying because that's the truth. So please let's pay attention.
Who you point out in what is the ADC today were either in the PDP or the APC itself yesterday.
Sorry, let me start again. Let me start it again so that you hear every bit of what he said.
More than 90% of the persons who you point out in what is the ADC today were either in the PDP or the APC itself yesterday. Rotimi Amechi will come out and be preaching the gospel of how to save Nigeria. It is the Nigerian people who can change this situation. Rotimi Amechi said he knows how to win against Tinubu. To win to do what? That's the question. When they talk about coalitions, the first question I'm asking, and I asked the same question even of the candidate that I supported in 2023, and that I'm likely to be supporting if I'll be involved in the political process in 2027. What do you want to do if you get power? You want to know who out. Look, since I'm not going to come and save Nigeria, let me just deal with that IDC issue. So it's still Nigerians that will save Nigeria. But the question is this: whether you are in the ADC or in the Labour Party or the AAC or any party for that matter, what does that change mean? You want Tinubu gone. I want him gone as well. We wanted Buhari gone. Buhari went, but what replaced him? Another disaster. Anybody waiting for 2027 has already lost 2027 because I guarantee you the Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the INEC as it is today, because it's the same Yakubu that is there. And if Yakubu leaves tomorrow, whoever is going there will still be nominated by this person that was returned by Yakubu. An alliance between politicians will not do anything to move the needle. Tinubu is not going anywhere because politicians found alliances. He will remain in that place and we will all continue to cry until 2031. Not he is a man very at home with impunity. He has no problem with implying that no matter what the coalition does, if that coalition does not, if
They'll
that
drag you in again.
connect the Nigerian people to the point where the people themselves are desirous of change and they are willing to stand behind their votes, nothing will change. In 1993, we didn't have IRF. There was no beavers. But we had free and fair elections because the people were tired. They wanted change. Even though it was subverted, they stood behind their vote and we all knew the result. In 2027, that can only happen if the people are connected to the struggle for change. More than 90% of the persons who you are
Okay. The only way the people can connect to change is by connecting to Nina's template for the reconstruction of that union, constitutional reconstruction of that union. It is not election reform. It is not getting a saint that is a virgin inside labor room. It's not any of those. It's not leadership problem. It is structural problem. It is system problem. You are still running colonial system. And making it worse, we are so diverse for you to think that you continue to colonize us. So that is why you're seeing the chaos. And Agnes Calamari, US UN rapporteur, said that Nigeria under the 1999 constitution is pressure cooker for injustice and a threat to global peace. Do you know what pressure cooker is? You put all that pressure inside, close it. It will explode and everybody will be affected, even our neighbors, even the whole world. In Nigeria, we have over 250 million people. Imagine what will happen if that place explodes. Already, it's not as it's shaking. It hasn't exploded yet. The world, our neighbors are crying. Ghana is crying. Please, Nigeria must go. South Africa, everybody is crying. No, 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 Nigeria, go and fix your land. Go and fix your land. Imagine what will happen if there's now boy. That's what we're saying to your religious leaders. Talk to your politicians. Talk to your community leaders. We must come together and embrace the Nina's proposition for self-determination. Somebody is calling. Let's see the call. Okay. Sorry, sir. Are you calling into the show? You're on speaker. Hello, you're on speaker, sir. You want to speak into the show? We're on live.
I text on it. I
Okay.
have a visitor here. I text on it
Okay.
after we listen to it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much,
You're
sir.
welcome. You're
Great.
welcome.
Okay. Yes, please call and make your comment. You can send a text. That's okay. That works with us. My sister will play another video before we finish up. We'll now continue to tie everything together. Remember, we play the videos first and then tie everything together. We don't lament here. We're not here to lament. We are not creating content. We are here for enlightenment, education. We will converse. We will talk to ourselves, reason together, see this is our problem and this is the solution. And then we move. It's as simple as that. It's not a big deal. Don't allow anybody make you think that Nigeria problem is such a big deal or is a spiritual problem. Let's go and be praying and fasting. These are criminals, the church criminals, criminal bandits, religious bandits, pulpit bandits. All of them, Koza, all of them. I hear one man apologizing for calling them out. We are calling them out. Koza, Love Embassy, Embassy, Christ Embassy. What's their names? Winners. All of them are criminals. They do not worship God, they worship Mammon. And we will not apologize because we are indigenous people. We don't have business with your stupid religion. All you care about is how to defraud our people and steal from them. You think we will apologize to you? For what? Who are you? Who do you think you are? All your institutions will go down because we're going to move our people from the nonsense like they're doing.
He
Only
say,
truth will deliver our people, and our people are getting the truth. So you better go and start looking for job. You pastors, better go and look for another job to do because those things that you've been doing will go down. They will go down. Let's listen to this man because we know some reverends are actually reverend, they're human beings, but the criminals are the ones we are talking about. The truthful ones are speaking truth, but the criminals that benefit from the death and sorrow and the pain of our people. We are not apologizing to you. We are not mixing our words. You're going down. Let's listen, please.
So, what are our shared core values? If you ask the Americans, they talk of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We don't have one. And it is when we begin to identify our shared core values that we begin to build a nation. What we have right now is a state held together at gunpoint. And when the state begins to oppress the citizen, there will be cries of marginalization, there will be secessionist and separatist agitation, there will be insecurity. Now we have set up Nigeria to be a place where the state is more powerful than the citizen, and the state is oppressive. We need to retrace our steps. Quite often, Nigerians ask, which is the way forward? And I say, if you are moving in the wrong direction, you shouldn't be going forward. You should make a U-turn.
God help us.
Remember, we read comments. There's an article written by our sister Dafe Enuma. She's a legal practitioner and member of Nina's movement. My sister will pull up some of the clips. We don't read the entire thing, we just bring up the clips. He said, what we have in Nigeria is a state held at gunpoint by our father, Reverend Anthony Akinwole. That's the video we just watched. We have a state held at gunpoint. We do not have a nation. Let it sink. Why will we want to hold our people at gunpoint? If the colonialists came and did what they did at gunpoint, why do we want to continue with what they have done? How? Why? In her article she wrote, she said, to truly move forward, we must confront the fraudulent foundation of the nation, of the country, I would say. The imposed unitary constitution must be dismantled. That's what we're talking about. Deconstruct. That is uncouple. Transition must be initiated to reconstruct the union based on equity, justice, and mutual agreement among the constituent nations. Constituent nations, the ethnic nationalities, the one that Ebuba is calling tribe. They are not tribes, they are nations. They were before the colonizers came. They are the constituent members, not your 36 states, fractured and balkanized. They are distinct entity. And according to the 2007 Declaration on the Indigenous Peoples' Rights by United Nations, these distinct entities have the right to self-determination. This is a fact. She continued to say, this this is precisely what NINAS, the Nigerian Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Self-Determination movement, proposes through its 5-point proposition. The job is already done. Everything is set, the template, everything is there. You just copy and paste. The work is done. It was a 25-year work. Found out everybody's grievance, put things together and say, okay, this is how it is, and put it on the table for us to embrace. Until this happens, Dafe continued to write, until this happens, the daily experiences of Nigerians, including the fervent prayers of Christians, fervent, I would say in quotes, because those are the criminal prayers, they don't even pass the roof, including the fervent prayers of Christians, so-called, we continue to be met with calamity after calamity because it does not work. It's a hypocritical prayer. When you know what you're supposed to do, you're not doing it, and you're pretending to be praying. Like Good Luck said, that the most difficult person to wake up is the one that is pretending to be sleeping. She said, peace and wisdom will remain elusive. That's if you continue to do what you're doing. You will never find peace. You will never find wisdom. He said, Nigeria, under the current structure, will continue to burn until the truth is acknowledged and acted upon. So it's not just to acknowledge. Remember one of our shows, we said the knowledge that will set you free is the knowledge that you are acting on. Not just to know. When you know, then you act on it. That is what will set you free. And then remember, on this platform also, we get the foundation for you. At the introduction, we have already put it together for you. But this now, want to summarize it. The criminality of colonial system, for you to understand again what we are saying, to break it down, to make it make sense, to connect it so that it will make sense to you, because we're here to make sense, just common sense. First, the colonial monsters, what did they do? They stole and hijacked the sovereignties of the once free and independent African kingdoms and nations. They stole their sovereignty, recklessly mixed up and balkanized these totally different nations in such a way to stifle their voices and influence as a distinct ethnic people. So you get this person here, get this person here. Totally different people, very different in their way of life, their worldview, everything. Put them together, take away their sovereignty, mix everything together, and then balkanize them and say, you are Ogun State, you are Kwara State, you are Enugu State, you are Anambra State, you are Kano State, you are Sokoto State, you are this state, you are Nyoma State. Balkanize them. just like they did to the Africans they stole and moved to their continent as slaves. They made sure they stole their original identity. When they capture them, they put them in the ship like different cages where you put chicken. So that your neighbor, you don't even know what your neighbor is speaking, no language, you can't converse, you can't discuss. So if you're not discussing, how will you plan escape? That's how they saddled the people, moved them to where. So they stripped them. The first thing they did to the slaves was to strip them of their identity. They changed their name, they changed everything. When your identity is lost, your heritage is also lost. It was intentional. That was why they were fighting the indigenous people's names, their language, their culture, their tradition, even their spirituality. Everything had to be taken away from them because those things will give you your identity and then connect you to your ancestral land and your heritage. They took all that and tried to give you artificial identity. That's what we on this plan say Nigeria is an artificial identity. You can't have a culture, say Nigerian culture. It does not exist because it's not original. You can't have Nigerian tradition. You can't have Nigerian language. You can't have Nigerian dressing. You can't because it's an artificial creation. It can only have the culture of the component members. But as an entity, Nigeria has no language, no culture, no tradition. It is artificial creation. So the colonial monsters coded all these things they have done, all this criminality and thefts as unitary constitution, the 1999 edition. Because some people say, oh, they were not there in 1999. Yeah, 1999 just they transfer what was. It's copy and paste what the colonial masters wrote. They just kept, like you get a book, you remove the back of the cover and put another one. So if it was 1960, you remove the back and put another cover. The contents remain the same. You put another back and maybe call my brother, what is all those names of those people that call themselves constitution lawyers, give them some money. And so I come and write constitution. That they're not writing nothing. They give them that, so yeah, just change the cover. Let's move. And those ones will collect their money. That's why you see, once they finish that project, they become very rich because they have just sold their people. So the indigenous political, community, and religious leaders are maintaining this theft and this hijack by swearing to and upholding that 1999 constitution. That's basically what Ninas is saying. Now we ask, if we say colonialism has ended, because sometimes in conversation you hear people say, why are you talking about colonialism? It has ended. Really? Has it really ended? Or you're pretending to yourself that it has ended? If he has ended, like some of you will say, people like Ruben Abati, all these all these brown envelope journalists that they talk from this side of their mouth and talk to the other side. You always see them. Today on Tuesday they will say one thing. On Wednesday they will say another one. If their wife sleep with them very well and they're happy mood, they will say the third one. Then if they eat very food and their tongue they drink wine very well and they're happy, they say another one. You always say it. And we're saying, if we say colonialism has ended, why then are we upholding the colonial structures and systems bequeathed to us by the colonial monsters? Why? Why are we doing it? Are we agreeing with them that as Africans, we are brainless and soulless? Are we that? We are asking. This question we're asking. Are we? If we are not daft, we must begin to decode and deconstruct all colonial systems, all the structures, all of it. So we can begin to develop, build, and construct our own indigenous systems and structures that will recognize our ethnic diversities, strengths, uniqueness, and abilities. Common sense. But they say common sense is not common. Even our brother Uchemefo, he brought out a video when he was trying to talk about what IPOB has done in Southeast. IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, and Simon Ekpa, because the truth has always been there. But our politicians, community leaders, and religious leaders, again, continue to lie to themselves. They'll be going to pilgrimage to Abuja. Hey, what did Nnamdi Kanu do? Set Nnamdi Kanu free. Peter Obi will ask, I don't see what he did. How can you see what he did when he's your political thug? All of them are the same. All the politicians are the same. Just like the northerners use Boko Haram for politics. That's the same way the Southeast politicians, of course, their partners, church leaders, and some corrupt community leaders, are using these boys as political thugs to kill our people and kill their opponents. That is why it looks as if, oh, they can solve the problem. Abacha already told us that any insecurity that lasts more than 24, 48 hours, government is involved. So our brother already said that all this going on, that the community leaders, the politicians, the church religious leaders are involved. That's what Uchemefo said. You should ask them. The community leaders, the religious leaders, the politicians in Southeast are the ones that trained IPOB and unknown gunmen. They trained them and sponsored them. They equipped them, just like Boko Haram in the north was equipped by the northern politicians. But we have a strategy on the table to end all this. Nina's strategy is the best strategy against Fulani onslaught. Yes, like my sister said at introduction, Fulani is the one in charge, inherited the platform, the structure from Britain. So Fulani is a local colonizer. But Fulani had to recruit the indigenous politicians, fake religious leaders, and corrupt, very completely corrupt community leaders. So they had to recruit them, give them some oil money. That's why when you see today, they just become rich overnight. You know that they have recruited them. So the strategy, Nina's strategy, is the best one. My sister already broke it down for us. We'll just give you more, just break it down more. Launching why we're telling you why is the best strategy. They were able to launch a fatal onslaught against the unitary constitution and its enforcers, including non-Fulani renegades and collaborators across Nigeria, particularly politicians and religious leaders. We are telling you why Nina's strategy is the best. It has launched very, like, because when you uproot somebody, like somebody is walking on the red carpet and you flip the carpet off, the person will fall with the teeth down. That's what Nina's strategy has done to these criminals. Apart from this onslaught against the enemies of the people, they have built an alliance of the victims, like the rest of the Nigerians that are victims of these enemies, which isolates and incapacitates the Fulani and their conquest schemes. So it's like somebody is stealing something, you go and wake up the real owners of the thing that is being stolen and tell them this is how this criminal is stealing your something, and these are the strategies and everything. You and build and gather them together, because for the longest time these ethnic nations were fighting and never agreeing on anything, fighting themselves. Igbo will say it's Yoruba that is doing them, Yoruba will say it's Igbo that is doing them, Ijo will say it's Igbo, Efik will say it's Ijo. Fighting, they sowed mistrust amongst the people. What Ninas has done was quietly go and whisper to all the ethnic nations, If there are 250, if there are 300, Nina's team had gone to them one by one. That's what we have done for the past 25 years. To whisper to their ears, the ears of their leaders, the opinion molders, those that have been tricked these years, telling them who the common enemy is and the strategy we can use to free our people. So the alliance has been built among all the victims of this colonial terrible structure. Nina's constitutional force majeure of December 16th, 2020, my sister referred to it at the introduction, was to deploy the enforcement mechanism for recovering the sovereignty of the constituent peoples of Nigeria, hijacked by the fiat of British amalgamation since 1914, and currently codified and sustained by 1999 Constitution of Nigeria. We are telling you why Nina's strategy is the best. So all this work has been finished. Where we are now is final phase. That is why this one that we want to pull up for you. Some is already in circulation. If you look for it, it's like just giving you instruction what you need to do. So where we are now, we are in the middle. To the left is election 2027. You see, it's red. It's marked red. Because if you go that side, okay, my own left, I don't know what is in your own left. Yes, my own left. It's marked red. You see, the arrow is red. It's marked bad. Because that arrow is taking you to APC, PDP, ADC, and others, even those that will say come up tomorrow. Why? Because they all operate under the 1999 Constitution. All of them. If you go to that side, it's death you will see and continued slavery. However, if you turn right, transition into freedom, into the change that Dele Faratomi was referring to, just because of their compromised nature, they're unable to say certain things and stand with them. So they know the truth, but they wish they would flip the people around because they're compromised. They're all compromised. If you stay in that system and you have benefited something from that system, you'll be compromised. So if they speak one, if they call them in the night and say, "What did you say?" He say, hey, John, what did I say? Oh, I didn't say. I said that I said. I did not say, I did not say. That's what happens. So don't be, don't lose faith when you see them. Today they say this and tomorrow they say that. It's because they're compromised. So if you go into transition today, we are telling the people, you see, the people, we don't have business with politicians. We don't have business with church leaders. We don't have it with those corrupt community leaders. All of them are criminals. We are talking to you, the people, the indigenous people, those ones that are victims of Nigeria, those ones running out of Nigeria because Nigeria is killing them. You and your children, we are the ones we are addressing. If you go into transition, you'll be able to to speak for yourself, like my sister said. You could say, I want federation. You could say, I want confederation. You could say, sovereign state entities. You will get to make that decision. It will be you making that decision, not the politicians deciding for you. Not Akban, Kerafa, Akpamu. Go see that one, what's that man?
Yes, the Obama. I think that's his real name, right?
Uh-huh. Not any of those ones. Not even Emeka Anyoku Kansi or Anyonku. Not any of those corrupt human beings, but you, the people, because there will be multi-ethnic referendum. You will decide it. And you don't need to go and put it in 1999 Constitution. You don't need to go and put a referendum in 1999 Constitution for you to have a referendum. No. No. Anybody telling you, oh, referendum is not in 1999 Constitution. Let's go to National Assembly and put it. They are liars. You know, these lawyers are liars. If you're operating under 1999 Constitution, you become a liar. Because you have to lie to uphold lie. So like you read in the ancient scriptures, God said, I put before you today right and wrong, truth and lie, light and darkness. He said, choose you this day where you will follow. Do you want to go into transition and be free, or you want to continue to be colonized under the 1999 Constitution? But you can make that decision today. Remember, we're waiting for your call. Usually after the show, that's when people start calling. So we call if you want and say what you need to say. Ask questions, make suggestions, but we have to do what we're doing. We are moving, we are going, because those that are dying, those that are victims of the system are working with us, because we need to deconstruct that colonial system in order for us to reconstruct a working system. It's only when we now have this working system, we now begin to say election, who we vote, who do we want to vote, this, that, that. The first thing first is to tear down colonialism, complete decolonization, and then we'll begin the work. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. So it's very, very important for us to understand that the Fulani conquest is not a myth, but actually is a clear and present danger that is sustained by colonial system disguised as federalism. Any attempts at constitutional amendments, restructuring, or political power rotation have failed us, and it have failed us woefully. What it has done is actually to leave the colonial system intact. Only NINAS offers a lawful, peaceful, and comprehensive strategy to end the Fulani conquest and the colonial, what should I call it, slavery at this point. Only Nina's strategy can deconstruct the colonial foundation and reconstruct, like my sister said, a new, just and order based on sovereignty of the indigenous peoples of that nation. So it is no longer a question of if, but how will Nigeria survive under this Fulani conquest? The answer lies in choosing Nina's pathway, but not as an option, but as a necessity. So we ask, are you ready to stand up and say enough? Are you ready to reject the lie and embrace the truth? Are you ready to dismantle the slave master's house and rebuild a free homeland? Then if the answer is yes, then you must stand with Ninas. You must stand for the future. You must stand for the land. You must stand for the people. And lastly, you must stand for justice. We talk about justice and equity and fairness all the time. At this point, we have nothing to lose but the chains of slavery and everything to gain, which is what our freedom. So, brothers and sisters, if you're not comfortable with calling, no worries. You can continue to drop your comments and your messages. You can text us your questions throughout the week. I think what I'm going to start doing is every week I will put the link to our WhatsApp group so that if you want to jump in and be there in order to get the daily updates, that will be beneficial as well. But we also have lots of videos for you to check out and get even further information. So before we go, I wanted to share the information of my of our sisters, because we tell you guys that we are working on multiple fronts to liberate our people, because we want them to live life and live life abundantly. If you go on our website, the daughtersofTruth.org, the daughtersofTruth.org, everybody is trying to answer the daughters of truth nowadays. We're definitely not the one that says Psalm chapter 1, verses 7. Okay, we have the list of our sisters that listed their local businesses, so that if you're having a party or whatever, or you, I don't know, want some food, please reach out to them. and I am going to pull up our um, merchant of the week um, here just to share as well as her information. This is our sister. She's in Aba, Chinyere Jetan Anyao. She's in Aba where she cooks. So her phone number is here on the website. Me myself, when I get close to her, I'm gonna order that soup. I don't know what she cooked, but I want some of that. I will definitely eat some of that. So this is her information. So if you want to get it, go to our website to get from Chi Best. That's her name. I'm also putting in the link here for you to share. Please do not be distracted with the food. And remember what we talked about today. So let me post her link so that you can have it as well. So otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. Sorry, our brother, Prince. Oh no, Chika Allah. Thank you for your comment. And then Sister Ifi Ngo Eze. Thank you for stopping by. We'll reply all the comments. Thank you. Please go ahead.
right. So here's the website so that you can go in and visit some of our sisters and brothers doing their work. This selling something to our people. This is a way to promote what they are doing in order to survive in the midst of all these things that is going on in our land. So until next week, brothers and sisters, take care. We'll see you guys then. Bye bye.
Bye.